Hey guys, what's up? This is David from ConMenRDW here, and welcome to our Pokemon Direct post discussion. Literally just happened. I just watched it like 30 seconds ago, and me and Jerome, say hi, Jerome.
Hello.
We have some thoughts on this whole thing. I did not expect all that stuff to be announced so soon, so actually
Yeah, that
very
was
impressed.
that was about as good a direct that they could have hoped for, minus the technical problems. But we'll get into that.
Yeah, but okay, so we're just gonna go down the line of the direct. I got screen caps and logs of everything that happened, play by play, for general idea. So yeah, here we go. In the beginning, you got old dude at table, and then it fades to black. Then you see 2006, and if you know, you know, and then fades to black, and then text bubble. And as soon as I saw the text bubble, I was like, oh, it's Mystery Dungeon. Because Pokemon Mystery Dungeon uses these specific text bubbles that no other Pokemon franchise uses. And I was like, oh, it's lit. Cool. Is it a new game? And then it goes up, and then you see the token, oh, I turned into a Pikachu. And the art style is really interesting. It's like a sketchbook, 3D rendered type of style. It's very interesting. I didn't expect them to go with this design. It kind of looks like they're trying to go like as if the game was styled after the concept art, but it's like actually like you can play as the concept art type of thing. What do you think about the art style?
So I have a very strong opinion about how this game looks. I think the painterly style is cute, at least for the world design at large.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, it honestly looks like they reused assets from the core Pokemon games.
Oh, for sure.
Smart. I don't like it.
I mean, there's only
I
so
think
many ways they can like just make Pokemon renders look.
It's not about making them look a certain way. The renders are fine. The animations are so underdone.
Oh,
It looks
yeah.
like they like, and it's not like it's not even like charming. It looks really, it just looks underdone.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they put a lot of effort into the world's painterly style, and I think it looks really good.
Yeah.
It's literally just the characters themselves look like they were like there was a filter put over them, and then they injected them into the game with minimal animations. Like the walk cycle I saw actually had me like, what the fuck is this? Come on, you can do better than that.
Yeah,
Like
the walk
maybe
cycle and so the graphics kind of make me think of there was a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon on the 3DS, and it makes me just think that they used what they could have used for the assets for that, but they just put them on the Switch because like the animations they used in that game weren't really that drastic either. So it feels like they just kind of did that, but just used it for Rescue Team DX. So I think that's like, yeah, I kind of feel that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly don't think it looks bad overall. And I'd
Yeah.
probably be able to tolerate it when playing. I just, I lately I've just getting very frustrated with game
You
companies.
just want them to put more effort and make the animations look more like natural looking.
Not even natural looking, just charming, like to give a shit. You see a lot of games nowadays that like underplay how important good animation is.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have companies like Arc System Works coming out with like Guilty Gear Strive and stuff, where the animation is so good. It's just like, this game is gonna sell on that alone. Why don't other companies, like they're putting all this effort into art styles, just double down and make the animation look good? It doesn't have to be perfect.
Like make the gameplay look how like the
Animation.
CG trailers look, kind of.
Yeah, because like one thing that frustrates me is that like it honestly looks like they're just like, okay, we want it to look good in stills, but the second you see the animation, you're just like, oh, this okay, it's underwhelming.
One thing I didn't expect was for them to completely just not make a new game, like a new story. They're basically going back to the OG Pokemon Blue, Pokemon Red Rescue Team format.
I think that's fine.
Which honestly I love.
Pokemon and like injecting new Pokemon into the old. I like that one a lot too. I think injecting new Pokemon into that with with a different style, updated. That's fine.
Yeah.
I think the premise of it is fine. I really like the art style. So with those things alone, I think I'll probably pick it up.
Yeah, for sure I'm gonna get it.
but I'm
Although
hoping.
the date fucks things up because again, it's in March 6th, 2020. What
so
the
the great
fuck's
thing
going
about
on?
being me and not caring about posting actual content for this is that I'm just not gonna get it when it launches.
I mean, I'm most likely not going to get it when it launches either. My March is filled up. The slots are taken already.
March has been filled up for like 3 months.
Exactly.
Like no one has time for this.
No one's getting. No,
But you know what's funny?
It's people are
You know
gonna
what's really
get it. But
funny?
few
I
people are
don't
gonna
want
get
to.
it.
I do not want to see any complaints or surprises like, oh, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon undersells. Like,
Of course it did.
do you know what's coming out in March,
Animal
Nintendo?
Crossing comes out like 5 days after this.
The fact that Nintendo is letting them cannibalize themselves is actually insane to me. I don't get it. Like, release this shit in like July or something.
Put it in April. Like, come on.
Well, like July even. Just like put it in July. July is like the perfect time because nothing's really coming out then.
Nothing's in the summer yet.
The expansion's in June for base Pokemon.
Yeah.
So it's like no one's like people will have time to get to it. I don't know. They're all over the place right now.
But there is a demo that is available later on in the day that the direct happened. So probably later this afternoon, I'm gonna pick that up because I do want to check that out. I'm looking forward to this game though because like Blue Rescue Team I played on my Game Boy Advance SP when I was in like 6th, 7th grade. I probably logged 100 hours into that game. That game was so damn fun.
It was a good game. It was honestly just a very good game.
It was such a unique idea at the time playing as a Pokemon. Like you really feel like you're in the game.
You really feel like Pikachu.
Yeah, I was a Squirtle. It was like in the beginning they had you do like a personality test, and it seemed actually kind of accurate, and it like it gave you what Pokemon you basically are in your soul. And I got
I got lucky. I got super lucky to get Pikachu.
Yeah,
I've always been happy.
I thought you would have wanted Cyndaquil.
Well, I did, and I on one of my playthroughs I did get Cyndaquil. But like I'm the kind of person that's decent at like manipulating personality quizzes to like lean toward what I want. So like I've always been like, oh, it's clearly leaning me toward being Pikachu if I do this. Okay, I'm Pikachu. And like the Cyndaquil one, I got lucky and I just like did it how I did it like legitimately, and I got Cyndaquil. So that made me pretty happy.
Okay, cool. But yeah, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon DX looks clean. Looking forward to that. Don't know if I'm gonna get it day one, but yeah, great that it's coming. When are we getting that When are we getting that Pokemon Ranger game? Who knows? Anyway,
probably not. I'm gonna be real. I think Pokemon Ranger is dead.
The tech.
Like I liked it a lot. I think the first Pokemon Ranger and even the second one were pretty good. I think that they ran out of ideas with that series, and unless they do like a re-release with new Pokemon like they're doing with Mystery Dungeon, that series is kind of gone.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Let's see. So, moving on to Pokemon Sword and Shield expansion pass. They blatantly said, yeah, so we usually make a new game every year, or at least a year after the first game, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to put an expansion pass on these and call it a day. And I was like, as you should.
So DLC, finally.
Exactly. They're like, we have the technology, and I'm like, fucking right, you do. Jesus
you've had it for fucking a decade. Just fucking DLC, goddammit. Stop being so antiquated.
So the DLC is going to be dropping as 2 parts: the Isle of Armor, which is part 1, and the Crown Tundra, which is part 2. They're both dropping in completely separate time frames. Isle of Armor is dropping in June of 2020, which is a pretty sweet time, and then the Crown Tundra is dropping in the fall. I would guesstimate probably November, around like the year point of the games coming out. And you can also buy them both for a full price of $30. Well, you can get them both bundled together as $30, which I was like, yeah, they can't sell them both for like.
That's just objectively a better deal.
Yeah.
Considering how much content they're claiming is going to be in there, that's just like
it looks like there's a shit ton of shit.
$30 for like a season pass of this caliber.
$30 for basically a sequel to Pokemon Sword and Shield that's split into 2 parts. So yeah,
like who's complaining?
So the Isle of Armor, they're saying, has a theme based around growth. Quote unquote, whatever the moral of that story is, but it seems like it's taking place in a really cool, kind of like a tropical, oceanic type of themed area. It's like lots of blue, crystal clear waters, lots of green scenery, like oceanic cliffs. Looks really pretty, actually. Looks like it's not even in the same region as Galar.
It's giving me like beaches of Italy feels. You know?
Yeah. But
like
then when
Rialto type stuff.
Yeah, but then when you look into the theme of like the character like costumes and like the main theme of the legendary, it kind of goes more into like a Japanese like dojo type of feel.
Like Chinese actually.
Yeah,
like.
Chinese, yeah. So what's cool is in each expansion your characters get new outfits, and I love the Isle of Armor outfits. It's like black and white Kill Bill style dojo outfits. They look so great. I love it. What do you think about these outfits?
The outfits are fucking adorable, like
Yeah.
beyond belief.
Like they have
I
really good capabilities
adore
of
them.
making outfits. I love it. And like the characters get their
I,
like own top buns and stuff. Like the hair actually changes. It's
I
so cute.
I think the character design is just very good. I have no problem with the character design whatsoever. And
Yeah.
some of the Pokemon design is on point.
Hmm.
But I gotta bust the elephant in the room. First of all, mustard.
Yeah, I was mad as shit.
Really?
I was mad as
Really?
fuck.
Are you
Are you
fucking kidding?
mustard's the best they could do?
Pokemon Company, that
Mustard.
better be a placeholder. I will fight you if this
You know
expansion
damn well his name
and
is
this old
Mustard.
ass man is. I hate it. I hate it so
It
much.
seems like they got
It's
lazy
so
with the
dumb.
names. They could have named him anything else but Mustard.
Anything else, dude? Master something. Like he's supposed to be like a kung fu master that's
But he's
teaching.
Mustard.
Come on. And then, like, I don't know. They give me mustard, and I'm just like, what?
Like,
the fuck? Mustard?
but then your rival for your Isle of Armor, you get two different rivals depending on what version of the game you have. So Sword, you get a what was that? I think she's psychic based. No, she's poison based.
Yeah,
She's
poison
a poison
girl.
based girl named Clara. She looks clean. And then we get and if you have Shield, you get a psychic based trainer named Avery. And again,
He
really
has
good,
the
really
biggest
interesting
top hat.
designs. He has a big ass top
The
hat.
biggest top hat.
And he has, like-
they're both adorable.
Like
though.
he's
I'm fine with
clashing
it.
so hard though. Like he has on his like tie dye sports shorts and his sports shirt. Then he has
he's
like the
a-
ruffled black thing in his collar, and then he has like the freaking dress shoes with the thigh high dress socks and the top hat. He's clashing hard as hell.
Yeah,
But
he's
Clara
just
though,
a weirdo.
She's Rule 34 by noon.
Bro, she will be by noon. Bro.
By-
It's already done.
It's already done. Sorry.
If I type it, I'm gonna go to Twitter and I'm gonna just test this live. I'm gonna type in Clara, and I'm gonna scroll for
Doing it live.
5 seconds, and found it.
Found it. The direct ended about 10 minutes ago, and it's already done.
There are already people
Can't wait.
drawing like
It's already
yeah.
good.
It's too little, too late.
The
She's
fastening has
fucking
begun.
adorable though, dude. Like
Yeah.
unbelievably so. So I have no problems with this whatsoever.
But yeah, so you get a different rival depending on what game you have. And then they said straight up, hey, there's a legendary for this. There's a legendary Pokemon key to this expansion, and we're just going to give him to you because he's part of the plot. His name's Cub Fu. He's a fighting type bear, and he looks like he's not a panda like Pancham, but he's like basically just a cub with like a fluff of hair that goes like around his forehead, and it kind of goes to the back like a white headband. He's adorable. I like Cub Fu. I love Pancham and Pangoro. They're like one of my top favorite Pokemon. And Cub Fu, I was just freaked out. I was like, oh my god, he's adorable. So I really want Cub Fu to be my friend. I love Cub Fu. And then he evolves into Urshifu, which can actually have two different forms depending on how you train it. So I feel like that's going to be some really wild metagame stuff that people are going to figure out.
Yeah,
For competitive.
I don't know how to feel about it because on one hand I think okay this is like actually pretty great because I like of course Cub Fu's adorable and I think the Urshifu part of it is pretty cool too. But on the other hand, those designs are so like
It
like,
looks decent, but then it's like, it feels like there's too many sharp points for no reason.
Well, the colored versions, not even just the sharp point, the colored versions, color schemes are so bad. They're actually so like I already didn't like the legendaries for this generation, but this is actually getting ridiculous.
You mean like his regular Evolve form or his Gigantamax form?
You know the giant 3D? I guess those are the
his Gigantamax forms, yeah.
That looked ugly. Why does it look like that?
How it's just red and blue.
Like it's like red and white or like blue, green, and white or whatever the fuck. Like those color schemes did not mesh like at all. It was yikes. I like the base design. I think the color schemes on the base ones are like tolerable. It's like when the Dynamax versions, I guess, they just didn't look good. And then we got to talk about old. Let's just go to Tundra right now.
Oh wait. We got to touch on one more thing. Since Urshifu gets his own Gigantamax forms. We also got revealed that the starters, apparently they didn't have Gigantamax forms, which I didn't realize until just now. Rillaboom, whatever I forgot their all. Yeah, but everyone gets their own Gigantamax forms. Rillaboom gets a whole drum set. That's kind of dope. Cinderace gets like a giant ass fireball that he just stands on menacingly. That's
Yeah,
basically
with
his
his
face,
long ass
his long
ears.
ass ears, and they give freaking Inteleon a goddamn sniper tower.
Bro, my boy is literally like
He's
American
about to
Sniper style,
literally
like finger pointing and like bang. He about to hit you like
bang.
boom, headshot. Like actually, like straight out of the
Just literally, I want to
yeah.
see in the anime if he Gigantamaxes. I just want whoever's training him to be like, take the shot. And
I
he's just
want
like,
Inteleon
Inteleon.
so bad, dude. Inteleon looks so fucking good.
Like, honestly, that's kind of hype. Let's just give him a sniper tower. But yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool.
10 out of-
All right,
10
but
out of
yeah,
10.
moving on to the Crown Tundra, which is part 2. It looks more like an icy, mountainous type of setting, way in contrast to the first expansion. Honestly, the concept art that Game Freak can do is astounding. Compared to how it looks in-game, their concept art is out of this freaking world, bro. Like, insane. You get another set of costumes in this expansion, which basically turn you into basically they give you mountain gear, mining gear. It's like an orange jumpsuit with cargo pants, boots.
Slave labor.
You get like freaking mining cap and stuff. And then they reveal the legendary for this expansion named Calyrex, which is like a imp, deer, fairy looking thing, sage. I like the design until I saw its head, and it seems like there's a big ass berry balloon thing on its head.
I throw it back.
Throw it back.
Throw it back. Throw it back. Like, look, I don't know. I guess it's just me, but I feel like they have been floundering on like cute small legendaries since Celebi. Celebi is so good.
Yeah, Celebi's great.
Just, like they've been
Celebi and Jirachi. Celebi and Jirachi.
Yeah, like that entire generate like up through advanced, they were okay, and then like Gen 4 through like I don't know, like I guess now they're just like all over the place whether or not they're good or bad. The 3 spirits were okay.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that. But yeah, Calyrex, psychic grass type. Interesting. They didn't explain how that Pokemon's relevant to the story, but they did reveal that all legendaries are coming back in the form of basically raid bosses inside of this new co-op mode that is going to be taking place in this expansion, which is basically like its own mystery dungeon, dungeon crawler, co-op based thing, where you and your friends can go into this in-game raid den, and you guys can just, I guess, fight new Pokemon or other old Pokemon. But then the special bosses will be actual old legendaries. They had Palkia, Dialga, frickin' the Pokemon Platinum Pokemon, Groudon, Kyogre, Rayquaza, Black and White legendaries, Latios. They bring in everybody back in the form of bosses.
Everyone's here.
Literally, yeah. So they're just bringing everybody back so everyone can shut up about it. But you're going to have to recapture them in this mode unless you transfer them through Pokemon Home somehow. I'm not sure how. But they did show that even if you don't get the expansion pass, this is kind of clutch. Even if you don't get the expansion pass, you just have to update your games, your base games, and then say you're like, I don't want to get the expansion passes, I don't care about any of that, but I do want the Pokemon. Oh, fine. Just have a friend or join some streams and then just link trade with those people, and they can just give you the Pokemon.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's kind of clutch.
But
yeah.
Otherwise, it'd be pay to win.
Yeah, that'd be very broken. Yeah.
Yeah, and so like I think that's a smart way to deal with that. Yeah. I actually like the whole concept of raid boss legendaries. I've always thought that would be a good idea.
I like the idea of the raid bosses
sense
in the regular game. So them adding a lot more Pokemon to this. I think they also said some of the legendaries are going to have their own Gigantamax/Dynamax forms too.
Which would be awesome because, in all honesty, it just makes so much more sense for legendary Pokemon, as powerful as they're claimed to be have to be like raid bosses. That's I feel like a concept that just makes way more sense than this random I don't know Quilava is just like super big and you have to fight it with your friends like that. I mean, it's cool, it's cute, but I think a Palkia showing up being the size of a skyscraper is like way more intimidating.
Yeah, that like encountering legendaries in this mode is going to be very hype, especially when it's like ones that you really want and need for your team compositions too.
I need Lugia.
It's going to be really cool seeing how people are going to be grinding for Pokemon in this in Sword and Shield in 2020. building up their team comps for competitive. So this is going to be really fun. And as we said before, you can just pre-purchase apparently later on in the day that the direct happened for $30. But honestly, I'm not going to probably get this until the day Isle of Armored launches. $30 for both. And yeah, that's basically the end of the direct right there. Looks awesome.
Now, I want to confirm something with you before we even move on.
Yes.
Did they ever confirm that they were bringing a lot of the Pokemon besides legendaries back?
So when we were looking at the they were showing the clips for some of the Pokemon that were going to be showing up in both Part 1 and Part 2 of the expansions. So they showed that some Pokemon were coming back, but they didn't show how many. But they are going to be for sure adding a lot more Pokemon into the game through the expansions. But like I said, it hasn't been confirmed who is coming back. So they haven't just said straight up all Pokemon are back. But they did say on February 2020, Pokemon Home is going to be compatible with Pokemon Sword and Shield. And also that means Pokemon Bank is going to be compatible. So I think that means basically, damn near, you can just put all your Pokemon in the game if you don't have them in there already. So even if they don't put them into Sword and Shield, you can just still bring them over if you have the means to do so.
Yeah.
Which is what I predicted they would do anyway. But yeah.
I genuinely hope they bring back like a substantial amount, not like 10 or 20. I mean, there's hundreds that are missing from this game, and I feel like they have the resources. They need to add the rest.
Yeah,
it doesn't feel right to me. Like even if it's slow, they need to somehow confirm that that's happening.
Yeah, I feel like by year's end, with the addition of Pokemon Home and also with these expansions, I feel like everyone's gonna have what they need compared to the first initial launch of the game. I feel like fans are going to be a little bit more tolerable of the Pokemon that are included in this expansion, this version of Pokemon. So honestly, if this is what they're doing with Sword and Shield, who the hell knows what they're going to do with whatever comes after this? Because it's like, oh, are you going to just make a whole new thing, or are we going to just like, I don't know. It's weird thinking like, oh, we can just expand on Pokemons now. But also, if you can just expand on Pokemon, you might as well take longer and make the next Pokemon just have the expansions in it already and just like have it be a shit ton of content. But also, they won't do that. But
yeah, okay. So, in my opinion, I think they're just gonna slowly trickle in from now on. Like this is gonna be the standard where they like make a Pokemon game and then they trickle in content. I think that it makes sense. It does make sense. Yeah. Because if they put enough in the game at launch, then by the time they trickle in the new stuff, it won't really be
I think the real question is, do you think they're going to do an expansion past Part 2, like a Part 3 and 4 to Sword and Shield? Or are we going to because are they going to have like a B team now? So like when the base game comes out, then they have a new set of people working on, okay, so you're working on the expansions for this game. We're going to start working on the new thing with the new engine, with the new mechanics, etc., etc. But you guys are going to keep adding on to the other game. So like, are we gonna see like Part 3 and 4 in 2021, or are we gonna like have a pause in 2021 and then 2022 we get the new Pokemon game?
I'm expecting 2021 announcement for new Pokemon game, and then new Pokemon game either late that year or 2022.
Yeah, probably, most likely. They gotta let this game like marinate still, because this it's still really early. Time. Like we haven't even had our first Pokemon Nationals or Worlds for this game yet, so. Yeah. There's a lot of things that can happen.
Now, small addendum. I do think that there's a possibility of them just completely just sticking to Sword and Shield and expanding on it over and over again with new areas instead of making an entirely new game. Because one thing is that if they're going to keep asset flipping their content, it's going to like start frustrating people if they like literally release the same game but the different region. 2 years from now, because it's like, okay, 2 years ago we told you we didn't like this and you're still doing it. Like, so my thoughts are there's a very good chance that they'll just keep doing expansions, and maybe they'll do like a really big one at one point that like overhauls the game to some extent. That's just a possibility. I don't think it's guaranteed by any means. I don't have a lot to go on either, but I'm just thinking like with the fact that they're finally using expansions within Pokemon, that's just a very good chance of happening. And it would be smart too, because no one can say, oh, it's not a new game yet. Like if it's just like releasing new content for the core game of Sword and Shield, Yeah. At the very least, the next game will probably be like that.
At this point, we're at where Pokemon really should just consider making that token hey, this is a worldwide adventure type of thing, instead of pigeonholing themselves to, yeah, this is only one region of this world. Give us a plane, give us an airline to jump on, give us a boat to get on, give us some trains that go cross continent, and let us travel the world. Give us a Pokemon
Yeah.
Odyssey. Give us something. Like, don't keep restricting the game to one region. Expand the world, link everything together, cut all the ties, and make that big ass game that you know you need to make.
Please.
Because the
I'm
world
begging.
is honestly, the Pokemon world is honestly just in different universes at this point. Like, the world's been filled 50 times over by now. So,
Yeah, just give me what I want. Give
yeah.
me what I want.
But,
Please,
yeah.
Nintendo.
That was basically the Pokemon Direct for January 9th, 2020. If this is the Pokemon Direct we're getting, what the hell's coming next with that Nintendo Direct? Who knows? But yeah, I think we're off to a good start for 2020 so far. Good thing for Pokemon fans. And yeah, that's all we got. Quick little video, quick little discussion, just talking about this. We have a lot more Pokemon fans on Team RDW that for sure we will get some thoughts on this Direct and other Pokemon stuff later on. Jerome, you should download the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon demo. We should talk about that at some point.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, for sure. All right. Thank you so much for listening, guys. If you enjoyed this discussion, like this video and subscribe for more content coming from Team RDW in the future. Also, if you have anything you want to tell us about this discussion, comment down below, and also follow us on ConMenRDW on all major social media platforms: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Follow us on Twitch because we stream sometimes and all that good stuff. Thank you for listening, guys, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.
Deuces. Bye.